Hey everyone, this is George Soto and you're watching Startups Unedited. Hey everyone, this is George Soto with Soto Ventures. Hope all is well and you're having a great Saturday afternoon. I'm joined today by Mark Ruthfield, who is Vice President of Sales at Yesware in Boston, one of my favorite companies. Mark, how are you doing?
Excellent. Pleasure to be here with you, George.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, especially on a Saturday joining us here on the show. Really appreciate it.
Anything for you, George.
I appreciate it. So, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your professional background and, how'd you get into sales?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in sales for over 20 years and have a passion for it. Actually, I'm proud to say that I was nominated and voted with the American Association of Inside Sales Professionals, the top 25 AAISP Inside Sales Professional prestigious award for the last 4 years. So I really have a passion for sales, helping sales leaders in the industry. And actually recently came over from ZoomInfo, where we quadrupled revenue over the last 4 years, significantly profitable, and promoted 18 people. So I really care about not just the sales repeatable best practices, but also seeing and supporting people's personal career growth, because when that happens, more often than not, I've seen the company goals follow.
That's awesome, and I really appreciate you saying that. And that's what I felt from you when we met at SaaStr recently, and which, of course, I'm always amazed at what they've been able to do. That was their second event, and it was so fantastic. So anyways, kudos to you and your approach on the leadership there at Yesware. Speaking of Yesware, what's the latest and greatest with Yesware? What should we be looking forward to seeing?
Yeah, two things. So one, we actually just had our sales kickoff this week. So we had our entire sales team in town in Boston this week, and it was we had a nice theme. I'm not sure. Have you seen the movie Invictus with Morgan Freeman, Matt Damon about Nelson Mandela?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that guy really inspires me, and we actually, our theme was around one of his quotes where he said, "We must inspire ourselves to greatness when nothing else will do. In order to build our nation, we must all exceed our own expectations." So our entire sales kickoff was geared around what can we do to exceed our own expectations as we take on our challenge to significantly scale our growth this year.
That's amazing, and kudos. I've heard of some very positive things coming out of Yesware, so I'm super excited to see what you've been able to do there as the new leader for the sales organization, the new captain of that sales ship. So
I actually like to refer to it as the Yesware Sales Dream Team. So we actually have a team of 8 players. Started in September. We really worked together to put an organizational structure in place with organized teams, managers for those teams, repeatable sales best practices. And we actually more than doubled our sales team since September, going from about 18 to almost 40 people as of today.
That's amazing. Congratulations. What is it that really creates a top sales team? Like, what is it? Is it the energy, the culture, the process? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, it's a great question. One, Yesware, as you know, is a great brand, great leadership from the top down, and that spills over from the top up to every single employee there. But what we want? We want people that want to have a career in sales, and whether that's as an individual contributor or a path into a management role. And we've been able to instill that here and promote people and create that path so people can come and not just have a short stint here. We want people to be able to have a career and grow with us.
Amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about the new prescriptive analytics that you have coming up, or reports? I know you were telling me a little bit about it earlier, and I was just super excited.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. So it helps three different people: the sales individual rep, the manager, and then across the entire team. So we have 3 reports. One for the rep, we have this activity versus engagement report. So I'm a big fan, I know you are, George, of ensuring that people spend time. Their activity is geared towards what will lead to revenue versus just activity. Some people just work and think that that's going to generate revenue. No, there's things around our process that contribute to that. And we have a great report that looks at activity and engagement based upon all the emails sent out by individual sales professionals. And it can actually show when prospects are engaged and really trigger the rep to spend time focusing there, whereas other prospects that they're reaching out to without activity or engagement. So that's one. The second thing that we were talking about, George, is the manager report. So we actually have one-on-one reports that show the activity of the team, the manager's reps to their goals, whether that's number of outbound activities, meetings, et cetera. And then we have a dashboard in Salesforce that shows what the top reps are doing, and the manager can actually replicate those best practices, templates, ideas across the entire team and double down on what's working and stop on what's not.
That's amazing. So just so I'm clear here, so I'm doing all these activities as a sales rep. So making calls through the Yesware dialer or sending emails and tracking them through templates and all the features around the tracking functionality. And there are certain activities that I'm doing that I'm potentially not aware of that are not yielding results. And on the other hand, there are certain activities that I'm doing that is actually yielding results. This report is actually going to allow me to see what those things are and be able to dial in and focus on the things that matter.
100%. So it's a report for the individual rep, and then the manager can coach with the rep and make sure that they're focused on the activity that's leading to engagement and ultimately revenue.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it. I know you have to run, and I appreciate it, but I've been thinking a lot about from a perspective of a founder, because ultimately I'm always looking at the world as a founder or as a entrepreneur. One that suffered and had some highs and lows, but that's for another day.
Another conversation, right?
Yeah, different conversation. However, if I'm thinking about, hey, listen, I've grown the company to X without a sales leader or VP of sales who's done it before and who can really get us to the next level. Because I think there's something to say about that, right? Someone who has done it, as opposed to hiring an entrepreneurial person who's figuring it out and maybe can figure it out, but maybe it's not a good utilization of time for the organization. In any case, if I'm sitting there as a founder, CEO, and I'm thinking about hiring this individual, at what stage in the business should I really start to think about hiring this person? And what do they look like? What are those characteristics, those attributes?
Yeah, so I think when that product is ready to go to market, I think that VP of sales looks like, obviously someone that can motivate, inspire, build out, and manage a team, right? Really understand how to structure it from SDR teams and how to build that account executive hunter, the customer success experience team, really build that out properly, having that knowledge, having done that before, but really someone that's going to roll up the sleeves and really put the structure, put the repeatable best practices, sales best practices across each part of the sales cycle, planning, prospecting, presenting, closing, someone that knows how to do that. I'm a big fan of preaching to my team that, I'm never going to ask you guys to do something that I haven't done that I know works. There's always ways that we can make things better, but someone that's willing to roll up the sleeves and more importantly, confident, someone that's done that before. And you don't have to build out a team of 100, 200, 500 reps. You can show that you've built out a team before. And then once you've built it out to a certain point, all it is just repeating what you've done and just scaling those once you have repeatable best practices in place, sky's the limit in scaling. And that's exactly what we're doing at Yesware.
Awesome. Well, Mark, again, thank you so much for joining us today. If I am an individual out there who's looking to compete for, a sales role on your team, or if I'm someone who has a product and has a sales team and now needs to take it to the next level and I want to use Yesware, how can I get in touch with you? Twitter, LinkedIn, email, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So on LinkedIn, on Twitter, email is Ruthfield, MRUTHFIELD @yesware.com. My Twitter handle is @MarkRuthfield. Cell phone number 508-277-8446. Whether it's talking about sales best practices or if we can help out your sales team with Yesware, I'm really passionate about this stuff, love it, and willing to talk with you.